right, the pavement has now turned into gravel road, and I have exactly 5 miles to Nimblewill Gap. So I'm just going to carefully make my way out here now and meet up with the riders. I'm 3.5 miles from Nimblewill Gap right now. It is slow going. This is a pretty raggedy, rocky road, and I don't want to cause any damage to the vehicle. But I'm continuing my way on. There's a creek off to the right of me as I make my way up here, and that creek is full and raging. We've had a lot of rain, so it's good for water supplies and everything, and to re-nourish the plants and animals. But I'm continuing on, picking my way up to Nimblewill Gap. Alright, so here is some of the rocks that I've been talking about, how things can be really gouged out in here with heavy rainfall throughout the year. So just got to be super careful that you're not popping tires or scraping out underneath your vehicle. This is something, of course, I've learned with years of experience to be able to get out in these places and assist people. And definitely don't try coming down these roads. Get the people that know what they're doing in these areas. This is not a good road to be on. All right, continuing on to Nimblewill Gap. little rocky tire popping area. If you go flying over these rocks, they're going to destroy your vehicle, they're going to pop your tires, and you're going to break things. So this road is not a good road for just anybody to be driving down. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to reach the riders, but that's okay. No harm done to the vehicle. Everything is done safely. That is most important. Alright, this part here has been washed out by the rain a bit. It's usually pretty rough in here anyways, but that's pretty much dug up. So as you can see off to the left, or to my left as I'm going forward, it's just a gouge in the road. So definitely the water has been eroding it, making it difficult for vehicles to get up in here. You're definitely not going to take just anything up here. So we've been driving on these roads for years, and we know how to navigate them. So we are used to these types of situations. But continuing forward, I'm still 2.4 miles from Nimblewill Gap. All right, we got these rocks to navigate. Now get up over them and continue on. Now this here is a little rock minefield, as we call them, and it's a tire destroyer. So I'm just going to pretty much idle through here, just little bits of gas, enough to give me forward momentum. Don't want to be popping any tires up in here. All right, continuing on, 2.2 miles to go. move some branches real quick. Don't want that up under me. Alright, got those branches out of the way so I don't have to worry about driving over them and doing something to the car. And now I just had a text from the riders. They're right where they're supposed to be and ready for pickup. So at the moment I should reach them right about 12:30. So I got about 11 more minutes to go. 2 miles. This road is a mess. Alright, well, continuing on. Slow and steady, but I will get there. Alright, here's some more. Got a gouged out road from the water, and of course the little rocks, and then a tree from some time ago that's been cleaned up long ago, so thankfully that's not in our way today. Alright, moving on. Lots of rocks and ruts and gouges in the road out here. The weather just deteriorates it as time goes by. I don't know how many times they come out through the year to maintain this road, so I can't say anything about that. It's definitely not been worked on recently. You can just tell by the way it is at the moment. So, gotta just carefully pick my way. Okay, little tire poppers here, and I'll get around those and keep on moving. Alright, I got a puddle to go through now. I did get out and check the depth of it before I started. Don't want to be going into anything that's really deep and unaware of it. So it wasn't too deep, just really big. Alright, continuing on. Alright, we're coming up to more of the really rocky, challenging tire popping rocks up in here. So Just gonna take my time. I'll put the car down into a lower gear, give it a little more oomph as we go. Still going 5 miles per hour or less. You just can't drive even the 15 mile per hour speed limit on this. It will destroy the vehicle. So just slow and steady, and I'm going to get there. All right, made my way up through that. Now I'm just going to continue on up to Nimblewill Gap. 1.6 miles to go. All right, coming up to the next challenge here. Got some more rocks that are jutting up out of the earth on the roadway. So just gonna get over here, being mindful of the side that can erode, and just continuing on. More rocks. I am now 1.2 miles from Nimblewill Gap itself, and as you can see, the further I get in here, some fog is starting to roll in. I'm getting higher up here in elevation. It's been a very wet, windy day. Just taking my time. Some big rocks over there, but thankfully I don't have to go over them. I can just hop around over here. Enough room to get by. Look at that, a group of turkeys. There's always a lot of rocks out in here, but with the rains that have washed the earth away this year, it is a whole lot worse than it normally is as far as there being rocks. So over here, I'm going to slide by that big one. Just going to kind of ride off this here and then kind of try to stay with all the rocks between me as much as I possibly can. Getting close to the gap right now. I'm only 0.4 away, and it has taken me some time to get up in here. All right, this road is a mess. There's huge rocks that jut out everywhere, a couple of big holes with puddles, and just overall not a good road to be driving on. Anyways, I've been up here before. I know what it's like to drive up in here, so I'm just doing how I know best to do. All right, continuing on. We'll be at the Riders pretty soon, and we'll get them back down to Amicalola Falls to the long-term parking area where they are. All right, I think I started up this road. Had to have been, I don't know, close to 45 minutes or longer ago. So just slow and steady. I'm not gonna wreck anything or endanger myself or anybody else. Alright, so I'm very close to Nimblewill Gap right now. Just pretty much have this last gauntlet of rocks and everything to come through. Getting really close to the Riders, and you can tell it's cloudy up here. You know, get the fog going on, some wind, it's wet. So definitely conditions are different over here. It is 48 degrees, not any different than where I was earlier, but definitely looks like a wet, cold day. All right, I am almost to the gap, so I'm gonna meet them and get them loaded up, and we'll be on our way out of here back to Amicalola Falls long-term parking. All right, we're gonna pick our way out of here safely, same way I came in. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. All right, here I am. I see people in the distance. Just this last little bit here, gonna get through. Gonna scoop them up and get them on their way. And I know they'll be glad to be heading out of here. They camped here last night. It's wet, windy, and cold. All right, well, this is Nimblewill Gap on the approach trail from Amicalola Falls to the Springer Mountain Mile 0 to start the Appalachian Trail. All right, I'm gonna wing it around here and get them loaded up and back to Amicalola. I will be back later.